It has been close to a half-century since the United States captured the World Hockey Championship. 1960 was the Americans' last taste of world gold. A 45-year drought they are looking to end.
Park on the backhand, scores! And hold on to your hats, folks.
Today, Team USA begins its quest for the 2005 gold medal. It's the World Hockey Championship. USA, Slovenia, next on TSN. Beautiful Innsbruck, Austria, where the hills are alive with the sound of hockey. It's Team USA and Team Slovenia at the World Hockey Championship. Good morning, Canada, and welcome to the World Hockey Championship. James Guthrie with you. Brian Burke and Glenn Healy will join me in just a moment. Team Canada with a day off today after their opening 6-4 victory over Latvia. So today we will take our first look at the Americans as they take on Slovenia. And the big question mark coming into this one, where the heck is Slovenia? Not exactly well known in international hockey circles. There it is right there, a little right of France, a little north of Italy. It is part of the former Yugoslavia on the Adriatic Sea. No NHLers on this team, so it should be an American walk, but you never know in this tournament. To get you ready, Gord Miller and Pierre Maguire.
Pierre, the U.S. is coming off a bronze medal performance last year at the World Championship, but this year, a lot of new faces.
Gordon, a major reason why the under-17, under-18 developmental program for American hockey really reaping the reward right now. You're seeing a lot of the old guard out the door. Tony Amonte, Jeremy Roenick, Darian Hatcher, Chris Chelios, Brian Leach. Those guys are gone. Tostitos, Finito, bye. Reason why young players ready to step up and really accelerate the pace for the Americans. Watch for their speed game to be a huge intangible in this tournament.
And a player to watch for Slovenia, yes, Anze Kopitar, who lit it up in the Swedish Junior League this year. He's the #1 rated European prospect by NHL Central Scouting, and the scouts are dying to see him play against the best in the world.
And that is a first, the #1 rated European prospect from Slovenia. So we will be interested in watching him. Brian Burke and Glenn Healy will also be very interested in watching one Mike Modano. This is a big challenge for him. He's the captain of the team, the last two big international events, the last Olympics and the World Cup. He had a point a game, but those were all assists. So not a single goal, only had 14 goals last season, had those off-the-ice financial problems that were well documented. This is a guy you've been associated with and linked to since day one of his career.
Well, Mike Modano, his draft year, I had him in for an interview. That year he was drafted first overall by Minnesota. Vancouver took Trevor Linden second overall. But we brought Mike Modano in for fitness testing and psychological testing, and Jack McElargy, our tough assistant coach, interviewed him.
Right.
And he said, Berkey, we can't draft this guy. He doesn't have one scar. Mike Modano, I think his goal-scoring days as a big sniper in this league are behind him, but he's got great speed and he distributes the puck well. That's what he'll do here.
When did you give Jack his psychological test?
He still doesn't have a scar, Modano, except when they dropped him off the stretcher that time on his back. But it's a key tournament for him with so few guys returning.
Well, I think he's going to be, as they've changed the guard, as Pierre points out, they've had massive turnover with key players that have been important for Team USA for 10, 12, 13, 14 years. This guy is a holdover. He's being counted on to show leadership with these young players, but he can still play. Don't let the goal-scoring drought fool you. This guy can play.
Well, they mentioned it. Only 6 players back for the U.S. from the World Cup team. Canada has 11.
Well, it does make a lot of sense. You know what does make sense to me in the U.S. team? You got Pete Laviolette as the coach. Good coach. But you got John Tortorella as the assistant coach. He won the Stanley Cup. You make him the head coach, for goodness sakes. I don't agree with some of the moves that they made. Hull, okay, it might take him a full year to get in shape. But Kachuk, he's a guarantee on this team. He should be on the team. Amonte, Roenick, maybe health-wise you can't. Now, Canadians, you're worried about your defense. Take a look at this defense. They've got some big problems. These are the returnees. Obviously, it's a pretty good group. John Michael Isles is the guy that impresses me. He was a rookie last year or 2 years ago in Colorado. Their defense, 3rd best in the National Hockey League at putting points on the board. He really finished strong, 16 points in 17 games. So he's a guy to watch for. But look at their defense. Andy Roach, Brett Howard, you want to look these guys up? Who are they? Who knows who they are? And Aaron Miller, everyone's darling, everyone's fancy. His last goal was 2 years ago. His last point was 2 Santa Clauses ago. So this is a team, they have really tried to get younger, faster, and I think they've done it too quick. They've left out some strong leadership guys, and Brian Leach is the biggest omission. He's the guy that you have to have in your program.
The U.S. and Slovenia is just ahead. Let's quickly look back at the Canadians, and the guy everybody is talking about and splashed over the front page of every sports section in Canada with good reason is one Rick Nash.
Well, he played just an awesome game yesterday. If you watch, scored a couple impressive goals, had a great assist, just a wonderful pass. Showed his size, his speed, did everything, good hands. I think it was a really impressive performance for this young man, and we're not done talking about him in this tournament.
You know, there are a lot of Canadians that play multiple sports, and he loves to play lacrosse. In fact, maybe it's that lacrosse skill that he has that has enabled him to have such great hands. A lot like Joe Nieuwendyk, how Joey used to be able to tip pucks. Nash is the same way in front of the net. And when he was actually in Columbus, he went to Ohio State University and was able to take part in one of the university training programs. He took part and participated with the lacrosse team at Ohio State. That's the passion he has. But he goes to traffic areas, he pays the price, and his best days are ahead of him. A 19-year-old, he led the world in the NHL in scoring. What's going to happen when he's 29?
Our next look at Rick Nash in Canada comes Tuesday against Slovenia. Your first look at Slovenia and the Americans comes up next from Austria. James Duffy back with you. We're just a couple of minutes away from puck drop in Innsbruck, Austria. Time now for something we call the First Line World Championship storylines for you to follow throughout the tournament. And a lack of certain precious metals in Canada, those silver and bronze. It has been best or bust for Canada recently at these World Championships. The last 8 tournaments, 3 gold medals, including the last 2, 03 and 04 and 1997. But the other 5 times Canada finished out of the medals. So it's been the big trophy or nothing lately for Canada. One storyline to watch. Another would be Alexander Ovechkin, of course, one of the top hockey prospects in the world. But when we last saw him, it wasn't so pretty. As a matter of fact, he and his Russian teammates were getting crushed by Canada at the World Juniors. Now, he tied for the tournament lead in goals that tournament. But you remember, in the Canada game, they controlled him. He was the O-dog. They hurt him, and he was a non-factor in the game. Well, he is back. He scored Russia's first goal of this tournament in a 4-2 victory over Austria. And yes, he is expected to be a factor in this tournament. As for the U.S., tell you what, they are on a roll internationally in hockey, winning the last 2 major tournaments. After losing to Finland in the 2004 World Cup in the semis and winning bronze at the World Championship last year, they won gold at the under-18s. You saw that on TSN, beating the Canadians. And the women's team also beating the Canadians for the first time ever in a gold medal game at the World Championship. So 2 straight major international victories for the Americans. They'll be in tough to make it 3 in a row, though, with this roster. Their first game against Slovenia. Hello. We're back with the puck drop right after this. Life's roads. For the Americans, it is Rick DiPietro, who's a terrific puck-handling goaltender. That should help him on this big ice. And for the Slovenians, Robert Kristin, the 22-year-old, who's in for a big test today. Here's Gordon Pierre with the call.
Thanks very much, James. Welcome back to day 2 of the World Hockey Championship here in Austria. There's Peter Laviolette, the head coach for the United States, coached the U.S. to a bronze medal last year, played for the Americans in the 88 and 94 Olympic Games, was the captain of the 1994 U.S. Olympic team. And the coach for Slovenia is Kari Salvalainen. And if that name sounds Finnish to you, it is. Former coach of their junior team and also the former head coach of their national women's team. A lot of Slovenians have made the trip. It's about a 5-hour drive from the capital of Ljubljana. And Slovenia in blue moves the puck across the line, and we'll keep an eye on Anze Kopitar, number 25, as a shot goes wide of the goal off the stick of Marcel Rodman, number 22. Rodman, familiar to fans of the Peterborough Petes. He played 2 years there and scored 36 goals for Peterborough in his second year in the OHL.
Drafted by the Boston Bruins in 2001.
Now a chance for the U.S. Eric Cole walking in. Cole sends it across, scores! And right off the hop, Mike Knuble fires it home. 31 seconds in, it's 1-0 U.S.
Well, number 3, Zaitz for Slovenia makes a bad read in the neutral zone, so it's a bad pinch. 2-on-1 created, and Eric Cole's just off to the races. And buckle up, because it's going to be that kind of an afternoon here. Really not a good job, and it's just a good job of opening up Eric Cole, going cross crease, and then just hammer time for Mike Knuble, who leans on it. Mike Knuble played in Linköping, Sweden this year, had 26 goals in 49 games, playing on a line with Brendan Morrison and Christian Huselius. There's a finish by Knuble, nice feed by Eric Cole, but if the Slovenians are going to pinch like they just did when Zaitz pinch scored, this is going to be a real long afternoon for them.
Mike Knubel tied for the goal-scoring lead in the Swedish Elite League with those 26 goals you talked about, Pierre, with Matthias Weinhandel. And Pierre, a lot of scouts from Europe felt that of all the North Americans who came over to play in Europe during the lockout, Knubel was one of the best.
And, you know, you think about Mike Knubel when he played with Glenn Murray and Joe Thornton, that elephant line last year. Mike Knubel had 21 goals, Joe Thornton had 23, and Glenn Murray had 32. I mean, that line was dominant for the Boston Bruins. No surprise that Mike Knubel would carry it over into Sweden.
By the way, Knubel, born in Toronto.
Yes.
Grew up in Michigan. And so he's got the U.S. on the board on the Americans' first shot on goal. Richard Park now comes across the line for the U.S. Park winds and fires and just missed the far post.
Robar with an awful pinch in the neutral zone, number 5, and now he's going off the ice feeling some shame. You can't pinch against the Americans or you're going to get blown out of the building.
Slovenia was in the A pool in 2002 and 2003, got relegated that year, and won its B pool last year to advance back to the main World Championship.
Got news for you. They might be going back.
Dejan Kondrets. Long drive goes wide of the goal, and Doug Waite picks it up. Stepping up for Slovenia is Miha Rebol, number 27, but back to pick it up is Brett Hauer. Long lead pass for Mark Parrish. That just missed, and icing is the call.
Brett Hauer, 33 years of age. Last 3 years he spent over in Europe. In 1989, Gord, drafted by Brian Burke and the Vancouver Canucks out of the University of Minnesota Duluth. He was a tremendous prospect coming out of Duluth, but the most he ever played in the NHL, 29 games with the Edmonton Oilers back in 95-96.
Face-off in the U.S. zone. A minute and a half into the game. The United States leading this game 1-0. Also going on at this hour, Switzerland taking on the Czech Republic in Vienna. Brian Giante sends it in front for Jeff Halpern, and Halpern knocked down. No penalty on the play, and the puck fired wide by Mike York as the U.S. once again all over Slovenia.
Well, Kerry Savalainen, the coach, he better start yelling at the defense because these guys are clueless.
Gianta down for Halpern, in front for York, couldn't get a good shot away. And now Slovenia moves it ahead. Peter Rozic. He's taken off the puck easily. And it's flipped in by Mike York looking for a change. U.S. won a bronze last year. Previous medal for the U.S. in 1996. Those are the only 2 medals the United States has won in this competition in the last 40 years.
Ty Conklin was a big hero last year for Team USA, 4-0-1 in that tournament with a shootout victory against Slovakia in the bronze medal game.
Did not allow a goal in regulation time or the overtime to Ty Conklin. He's the backup in this game today. And Peter Laviolette's team, as mentioned before, you can see John Tortorella in the background there. So Laviolette the boss with Tortorella as the assistant.
And major reason why Laviolette's the boss of this team. Last year he was the coach that won the bronze medal.
Al Gill for Adam Hall of the Nashville Predators. A long drive steered away there by Robert Kristin, the Slovenian netminder. Kristin played for Ottawa in the Central Junior A League 5 years ago. But other than that, has very little top-level experience.
Yeah, not the Ottawa 67s.
Moving it across the line, Yuri Golicic, and Hal Gill steers him away. And I would assume that Yuri Golicic at 5'11", 176, doesn't see many defensemen who are 6'7" in the Slovenian league.
No, he sees basketball players like that coming from Croatia maybe, but nothing like that in hockey.
Leg one puts that through the middle, icing waved off, and now Kristin is out to play it. Robert Siglinetsi lost the puck, and now circling back, Mike Knubel, the American goal scorer, backs it in. Knubel out there with Eric Cole and Mike Modano. Cole digging for it in the corner. Knubel in there as well. Modano circling dangerously. And now Knubel still fighting for that loose puck with Anze Kopitar. And Kopitar brings down Knubel in that battle.
And that's what the scouts want to see. They want to see how Kopitar plays against big men.
And now Knubel steps hard into Marcel Rodman.
Wow.
And Knubel shovels the puck to Eric Cole. Now Knubel back with it. Backhand pass in front, broken up. And finally, Kopitar just sends it down to the American zone.
Interesting what they're trying to do with Kopitar in in-zone coverage. Hide him in coverage, get him up high.
4 minutes gone here in the first. U.S. leads 1-0. Terry Salvalainen, the coach of the Slovenian national team. He was hired after 2003 when Slovenia was relegated from the A pool of the World Championship. John Michael Lyles from the point with a drive. Stop made by Kristin. Rebound. Mark Parrish stopped in close. And now the other way. Edo Terglav Across the line, looking for the return pass, and they misfire, looking there for Ivo Jan, number 33. Ivo Jan won 2 national championships in a 4-day period as DiPietro makes a stop. And then on the rebound, turned away was Ido Turgla.
Best opportunity for Slovenia so far in this game. It all comes off the rush, quick counterattack, and you see Turgla jump on the rebound, trying to sneak it through the legs of Rick DiPietro. Good reaction save by Rick DiPietro. Contract right there going off. Rick DiPietro, first modern goaltender picked with the #1 pick overall in an NHL draft.
Brian Giunta takes a whack at it. Ivo Jan won a national championship in Slovenia. Then a team he used to play for in Austria lost a player and added him. So he played in Game 7 of the Austrian Championship, scored a goal on a penalty shot, and won his 2nd national championship in a 4-day period.
That's great, huh? Good story.
Get a lot of rings doing that.
Or
Mike York looking for the loose puck.
in this case, in Europe, they give a lot of beer for teams to
right.
win.
The MVP in this tournament used to receive 2,000 liters of beer. That'll while the summer hours away.
Well, how about the player of the game in the pre-tournament game between Czech Republic and Canada?
Got a keg.
Big keg.
Good luck getting that in the bus.
Yeah.
David Legwan reaching for the puck. Now across the line for Slovenia is Mitja Šivic, and he turns the puck over. Slovenia, a nation of 2 million people, but has very few registered hockey players in comparison to the United States.
1,000 overall registered players,
as opposed to more than 350,000 in the U.S.
There are only 6 indoor rinks in all of Slovenia.
Adam Hall from well out. Fans on that shoot in. And back to pick it up is Mitja Šuklar.
Adam Hall playing on a line with David Legwan. They play together in Nashville.
The United States is a forward short. Matt Cullen was injured before the tournament began. He was not replaced. Siglinecki goes back, being watched there closely, and gets away from Legwan. And now fired in by Brett Hauer. 6 minutes gone here in the opening period. U.S. leads 1-0. Icing waved off. Yesterday, Canada beat Latvia 6-4. Russia over Austria 4-2. Slovakia just beat Belarus 2-1. And here, Finland eked out a 2-1 win over Denmark.
Glenn Hanlon doing a great job with Belarus. He's the coach there, the coach for the Washington Capitals, doing an excellent job putting a system in that the players are really buying into.
Icing the call against the United States. No touch icing, no center ice red line for 2 line passes, and the tag up offside in effect as well.
Robert Kristin in goal, 22 years of age. Lots of passion for them, the fans from Slovenia. Gord, there was a 10K run here in town today in Innsbruck, and all the Slovenian fans were out enjoying the sun and really enjoying the running race.
I think they're just having a good time here, generally.
Yep.
Eric Cole brought down, and here's a breakaway for Knuble. Looking for his second, walks in, and Kristin stops him point blank. And now play called as the puck is touched, and the United States is going to go to the power play as Siglinecki is going to go off for Slovenia.
And you got to wonder what Siglinecki was thinking right here in this last sequence. Look at this, straight up on Eric Cole. I mean, he's a defenseman. You can't get caught flat-footed in that situation. And then obviously the breakaway opportunity, but Siglinecki's had a real tough start to this game. Maybe he's intimidated. Zeitz as well, number 2 a defenseman, real tough start. And they're 2 of the older guys, Zeitz at 39 and Siglinecki at 30.
On the power play, this is Andy Roach. And the puck turned over quickly, and almost a chance there for Slovenia, Mitja Robar.
And if you were wondering who Andy Roach is, spent the last 5 years playing in Germany. This year he played in Lausanne in the Swiss League, but the St. Louis Blues drafted him, or signed him, excuse me, as an unrestricted free agent last summer. They're hoping he can be the next Ryan Rafalski.
There's Mike Modano ripping a shot wide of the goal. Modano up front in this power play along with Knuble and Eric Cole. Puck to the line and backhanded out there by Damian Devarch. Roach for Mike Knuble. Roach scored the winning penalty shot goal in the shootout against Slovakia last year. In fact, he's the only player in IHF history who has 2 winning goals in shootouts. They were both last year, one against the Czechs in the quarters and one against the Slovakians in the bronze medal game. Ivo Jan killing the penalty, sends it ahead. Golicic couldn't get a good shot away. And now Kontretz lost the puck to Mark Parrish. Under a minute to go now in this American power play. John Michael Lyles sends it across for Doug Waite out there along with York and Parrish. And Waite fires it around the goal. Here's Parrish. Taps it back to the line. Fired in by Aaron Miller. Richard Park back to the line. Here's Brett Howard. Down for Waite. Now Howard with a drive goes just wide. Stepping up for the line, Jordan Leopold couldn't get a good shot away. Leopold back for Howard, able to save it. Waite walking in from the corner. Doug Waite still with it. Waite plays it back. Park fires it off the post. Waite back with it again. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Waite walks back in. To the line. Howard a drive. The glove save made by Kristen. Back in front for Waite. Final seconds of the power play. Waite backdoor pass bounced away from Park. And the Slovenians are able to clear it out as Thomas Rasinger gets it down the ice.
Robert Kristen with the fast pad save on Doug Waite's cross crease feed.
Jeff Halpern plays it back for Brett Howard. And fired in there by Paul Martin, number 10. Martin of the New Jersey Devils with a shot that gets blocked. And now it's cleared out by Slovenia's Aaron Miller gathers it up. Rosic being harassed there by Brian Gionta. Now Rosic walking in a backhand shot stopped by DiPietro. Best chance for Slovenia so far. The U.S. leads 1-0. Rick DiPietro with a good stop on Peter Rosic, who, like a lot of the Slovenian players, played in the A pool in 2002, 2003, and then got them up from their B pool a year ago to get back in the main draw of the World Championship. Slovenia was in with Italy, Estonia, Korea, Poland, and Romania. Mitja Sotlar sends that through the middle of the ice. Now stolen. Here comes Mike Modano with Eric Cole. Modano working his way to the front of the net. The puck taken away from him. Puck still loose down there in the equipment of Eric Cole. And finally circling back is Mitja Šivic.
Sotlar did a tremendous job on Mike Modano there in a one-on-one situation.
Now back the other way comes David Rodman working on Hal Gill. A backhand shot goes wide.
The Americans better wake up defensively. They're backing off the line way too much.
Knubel gets hammered there by Bojan Zaitz.
Zaitz better do something because he hasn't been making smart plays.
Throws one in physically. The Slovenians ice the puck 10 minutes into this opening period. These teams met once before at the World Championship. That was in 2003. The U.S. won 7-2 the year Slovenia was relegated. By the way, that game was played on the relegation side. Waite against Kopitar on the faceoff, and Kopitar comes away with the puck. Anze Kopitar with a pass off the skate of Marcel Rodman right down to DiPietro, and he fires it up the ice. And here comes Waite in with Richard Park. Waite walks in, that pass broken up. Diving back was Kopitar. They get a stick on that pass and send it over the glass and out of play.
One of the knocks against Kopitar is he's a knock-kneed skater, so people are wondering about his speed quotient, but right there has enough jam to get back and deflect that Doug Waite opportunity to Richard Park.
Richard Park, a returnee from last year's bronze medal team for the United States, also played in the Deutschland Cup this year, which the U.S. won for the second consecutive year. Aaron Miller backhands it in for Waite. Park circling as well. Parrish getting mugged in front. Here's Park. Can't get the puck to sit for him. And that pass is broken up and sent down the ice by Dejan Varel.
Doug Waite just doing a tap dance on Kopitar right there.
Here's Parrish across the line with Waite. Mark Parrish centering pass. Waite couldn't quite reach it. And back the other way comes Thomas Rasinger for Marcel Rodman. That play broken up and a penalty coming up to the U.S. Aaron Miller took down Marcel Rodman, and Slovenia will go to the power play as Aaron Miller, playing in his second World Championship, will go off.
Aaron Miller didn't play hockey this year, but you know him from the Los Angeles Kings, where he and Matthias Nordstrom just crushed people when they're playing in matchup situations. So with European officials, as people start to find out when they come over here enough, you got to be real careful when you're a physical player.
Don't hit someone too hard.
Exactly. Don't be big and strong and fast. You get penalized for that.
Rick DiPietro plays that away. Again, low glass here in this arena in Innsbruck. Dangerous for puck handling goaltenders like DiPietro and Canada's Martin Brodeur. So Slovenia to the power play for the first time. And that shot from Dervaric blocked in front, and the U.S. sends it down. Halpern out there to kill the penalty. A penalty killing dynamo for the Washington Capitals, who played this year in the Swiss League for part of the season.
And it's nice to see Jeff Halpern on the ice after the tragedy that occurred with his family, where his mother passed away in an automobile accident.
Eric Cole in behind the goal for the U.S. The Americans are changing, so Cole just gets it down deep and kills some time. 1:15 to go in the Slovenian power play, and Eric Cole is proving to be too hard to handle down there as two Slovenians finally take him away from the puck. Ivo Jan. Drop the puck back. Slovenia changing. Now jumping across the line is Kondrats. Leaving it there for Terglav in behind the goal, and waiting for it there's Andy Roach. Hal Gill takes a swat at it. Modano gets a stick on it, but not out. Long drive, bouncing down in front, and DiPietro steered that away.
Zeitz with a good release, getting that puck on goal.
40 seconds to go in the Slovenian power play. Slovenia in the pool with Latvia, the United States, and Canada. Top three in the pool advance to the qualifying round. The bottom team goes into the relegation side. Now Modano wraps that in. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Mike Knuble down deep, killing the penalty for the U.S. Battling down there with Siglanecki. Razingar moves it ahead. Knuble lost his helmet, had to leave the ice, so Razingar across the line. DiPietro almost played that right to a Slovenian player. And here's Marcel Rodman with it. Penalized players back on the ice. Rodman plays it down low for Kopitar. Side of the goal. Kopitar can't get a good shot away. Now a centering pass misfires, and away comes the U.S. This is Park with Aaron Miller. Park 2-on-1 with Miller. Drops it back to the trailer. Doug Waite in alone. Waite, and it goes wide of the goal as he's poke checked by Robert Christen.
Dijon Weil better stop pinching again. Another odd man opportunity for the Americans because of terrible decision making by the Slovenian defense.
John Michael Lyles across the line now for the U.S. Waiting for teammates to arrive. A centering pass is broken up neatly by Yuri Golicic. Legwand with it. David Legwand backhands that puck in front. Loose there for Adam Hall. A backhand shot. Christen down. The puck squirts through the crease. And now scooped up by Jan Stasny, the young son of Peter Stasny. Hall battling for it. And it bounces away from Legwand. Jan Stasny, a late addition to this U.S. lineup, gets a chance to play for the United States, which leads 1-0. Slovenia did not qualify for the 2006 Olympic hockey tournament, but back here in the A group of the World Championship, they were 13th in 2002, 15th out of 16 in 2003, and relegated. Paul Martin plays it there for Eric Cole. Centering pass knocked away there by Robert Christen, the Slovenian netminder.
Peter Laviolette likes his Knuble Modano Cole line. They come every other shift.
Now walking in across the line for Slovenia is Zagar. Tied up. Centering pass bounces down to DiPietro, and he hangs on to it with Jaka Augustincic watching him closely.
Rick DiPietro, New York Islander. Paul Martin, New Jersey Devil, played with Scott Stevens before Scott Stevens had the concussion problems. Some of the fans enjoying the scenery here in Innsbruck. It's a spectacular city. If you've never been here, I would encourage you to come visit. It's beautiful.
It's a holiday weekend here in Europe. The May Day holiday coming up. And a shot by Zeitz floats high and wide of the goal. Back in behind is Hal Gill. Plays that to the line to Mike York. York with Halpern and Brian Giunta. That pass broken up. And now York tries to gather it back as he hammers Tommy Hafner.
Mike York played 52 games in Germany this year. He had 62 points.
Centering pass. DiPietro will fall on that and shovel it back. A lot of the American players played in Europe, but some of them only played parts of seasons. A lot of them played a dozen games, 10 games. Not many of them played full seasons in Europe. Siglanecki sends that puck ahead for Kopitar. Anze Kopitar's shot bouncing down to the side of the goal and played away by Hal Gill.
You know how they say players have it? Kopitar has it.
Parrish looking for the loose puck. Couldn't get it to Richard Park. And here comes Kopitar again. Fires it in as Slovenia gets in a change. Now Leopold battling down there with Thomas Razinger. Waite plays that puck ahead for Richard Park. Park has time through the middle. That pass misfires, and Kopitar picks it back up.
17 years of age, and he's got it. I mean, he's all over the ice, making good reads, strong in the puck.
Park for Mark Parrish. Here comes Parrish steaming in front. Christen a poke check on Mark Parrish. Knocks the puck to the corner.
Dijon Varel has no lateral mobility at all, number 10. That's the 4th time he's been exposed defensively.
Now Parrish back for Doug Waite. For Howard, plays it down in the corner. Waite on his horse to pick it up. Parrish down there to help out as well. Mark Parrish takes a whack from Varel, still has it. Drops it off for Brett Howard. Howard jumping up for the blue line, a centering pass, and Kristen will hang on to that. You're watching the World Hockey Championship live on TSN.
Here's your chance to earn your own hockey glory. TSN presents Play On, the official Canadian street hockey tournament. It's coming to 8 cities this summer. Log on to playon.ca to learn more today.
.4:14 remaining here in the first period. The United States leads Slovenia 1-0 on a goal by Mike Knubel. And off the face-off, Adam Hall taps the puck back to Paul Martin. Hall with a long drive, just missed.
That's a set play where they hide Stasny up high on the face-off, and then he goes back door looking for the return from Martin. Great face-off play by USA, and John Tortorella orchestrates a lot of those face-off plays.
Dan Stasny, a draft pick of the Boston Bruins. As you mentioned, Pierre, playing in Germany for the last couple of years. His younger brother, Paul, won a national championship with the University of Denver this year.
Highly regarded prospect.
Adam Hall centering pass just bounced away from the intended target, John Michael Lyles, who was pinching in from the line. Now jumping ahead is David Legwan across the line with Hall. Adam Hall in a backhand shot, stopped by Kristen. Puck still loose. Here's Hall's side of the goal, scores! Adam Hall makes it 2-0 U.S.
Got a whole lot of Matador defense out there. Hold the cape out and just let people run right by you. And that's exactly what the Americans are doing to the Slovenian defense. Now, the Stastny Legwan Hall line is really the 4th line for Team USA. But you see, there's nobody there. There's the Ole. Nobody in the way. So there's a return opportunity for Adam Hall. He gets it from David Legwan, his Nashville teammate. He puts it up high past Robert Kristen. There's the Ole defense, nobody in the way. Just hold up the cape and let them skate by you. And you see Stastny taking up space. Adam Hall gets the pass and finishes the play off. Good job by Legwan being aware, and roof.
Adam Hall, a former captain of the United States World Junior team, is playing in his 3rd World Championship. Hall, in fact, Pierre, played this year in Kalpa in the Finnish League and helped them earn promotion to the Finnish Elite League this year.
Yes, he did. He played 36 games there, had 23 goals, 40 points overall. Adam Hall is a great skater. Maybe not the best finisher, but he's a great skater. Played 4 years at Michigan State, and people in Nashville, Barry Trotz in particular, coach there, really likes his work ethic.
So 2-0 United States leading here in Vienna. The Czech Republic leads Switzerland by a score of 2-0. Jaromir Jagr and Václav Prospal have scored for the Czechs. Peter Rosic across the line, centering pass, fired on goal. DiPietro makes the stop on Augustincic. And now the U.S. back the other way. Here's Eric Cole steaming in. Pass was too far for him, and icing is the call.
How about Rick DiPietro's had to make 3 real good saves right now because the American defense, as Glenn Healy was talking about, a little bit shoddy. Not a lot of big names back there. No Brian Leach, no Darian Hatcher, no Chris Cheller. So trying to go with a younger guard. Guys like Andy Roach, Paul Martin, Jordan Leopold, Brad Howard, who's an older guy, John Michael Lyles. But so far, it's not working out too well. Remember, this is Slovenia. This isn't Canada. This is not Sweden. This is not Finland. This is Slovenia they're playing against.
Slovenia already looking forward to the game against Latvia. That'll likely decide who gets relegated. As a shot right on goal by Šivic is stopped there by DiPietro.
Terrible job defensively by Doug Waite right there. He just got exposed big time.
Now down low is David Rodman working on Howard. Rodman, the younger brother of Marcel Rodman, his teammate here. Mark Parrish had lost his stick, and now Richard Park sends it in deep. 2-0 the U.S. on top. The U.S. closes out the round robin portion here against Canada. And that should have been too many men as Razinger came off the bench and played the puck.
Remember, it's Slovenia. Give him a break.
Sure. Aaron Miller gains center ice. Wraps it in, a bouncing puck. Down to Robert Kristen. 1 year at the World Championship in 2002. Slovenia had Stan Redick in goal, the younger brother of Pokey Redick, former NHL goaltender for Winnipeg and Edmonton.
Stan played a lot in the East Coast League.
Kopitar brings down his man Halpern and sends the puck out of the zone for Slovenia. Kopitar, number 25 for Slovenia, has attracted the attention of a lot of scouts here. And of course, in the Swedish Junior League was dominant, scoring 28 goals in 30 games.
By the way, Kopitar's father, Matthias, is an assistant coach with this team, and in Matthias's last year as a player, he actually played against his son, Anzi Kopitar.
Yeah, they played against each other in the Slovenian League.
Yep.
There's a Slovenian Elite League, and then Slovenian teams also play in what's called the International League, which includes teams from Hungary and Croatia.
There were 4 NHL players that played in Slovenia this year. Manny Malhotra, Brian Wilsey, Matt Pettinger, and John Jacopin.
And Kopitar with a centering pass there, but nobody home for Slovenia. Now Mike Knuble tries to send it in. And Siglanecki sends it down the ice. Here's a foot race for it. Kopitar walking in, poke check from behind. Had the puck knocked away by Andy Roach.
Good job by Roach getting back. Kopitar didn't look slow there, Gord. He looked like he had live legs.
And the puck goes over the glass and out of play. So Kopitar putting on a bit of a show here in the first period.
Well, you got to be excited. If you're an NHL team right now, everybody was excited about Mike Madonna when he played in Prince Albert. And he was drafted second or first just before Trevor Linden. But you see that back check play by Andy Roach. Antti Kopitar's got a good release. We watched him practice the other day. The reason why he's wearing a shield, he's too young, not 18 years of age. Once you're 18, you can wear the half shield. But he is a very good player.
Doug Waite picks it up for the U.S. Here comes Waite with Parrish. Waite steaming in, sends it across for Parrish, scores! Mark Parrish fires it home with 1:01 left in the first, and it's 3-0 U.S.
If you watch Ivo Jan, number 33 in the neutral zone, watch what Doug Waite does to him. And if I'm the goaltender, Robert Christian, I'm really ticked off in my defense right now. These guys are just olaying it all over the ice. And there's 33. You see Doug Waite just does a tap dance on him, and then the nifty cross-box feed. And Mark Parrish finishes it off. Mark Parrish is a good finisher. And in Seattle, his last year junior, he had 54 goals in 54 games. He knows how to score, and he does it with abandon right here because of shoddy defensive coverage by the Slovenians, in particular, Ivo Jan.
Think about it. The first goal, 2-on-1. Kristen had no chance. The second goal was Adam Hall standing all by himself at the side of it. Then another 2-on-1 for Parrish.
Again, it's that Matador defense. You know, it's just not very friendly to goaltenders.
Parrish playing in the World Championship for the second time for the U.S. Also competed in 2001 for the United States. So into the final minute here of this opening period in the U.S. with a quick 3-0 lead on Slovenia. Adam Hall chipping in deep. Jan Stasny out there along with David Legwan. Legwan battling for it, and the puck fired at the center ice. Splits Brett Howard and Jordan Leopold. Leopold's last game was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final.
What a nice job that young man's done in his career, though. And if you really break it down, Brent Sutter and Jim Playfair deserve a lot of credit.
There's a centering pass from Legwan. Trying to send it across for Jan Stasny. That misfires. And now Rosic sends it in deep. DiPietro back there. DiPietro and Leopold, both products of the U.S. National Team Development Program.
Adam Hall as well, who just shot the puck in. That program's paying off for them. They have a young man by the name of Phil Kessel in Canada. If you don't know him by now, you better get to know him. He's excellent.
Gionta picks it up, and time expires at the end of the opening period. The United States pours it on with goals from Knuble, Hall, and Parrish, and takes a 3-0 lead to the dressing room after one.
All right, coming up in our first intermission, it would be Brian Burke, it would be Glenn Healy, and a feature on Canada's coach, Mark Habscheid, all ahead. All right, we're back at you tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Our first look at Sweden, missing some of its stars in this one. Daniel Alfredsson is there, the likes of Matt Sundin. Marcus Naslund not there. They're taking on Denmark. Forsberg, of course, is not there either. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Sweden against Denmark. All right, back with Brian Burke and Glenn Healy. It is 3-0 for the Americans. They're having no problem with the Slovenians, despite the fact they have the Slovenian Gretzky.
Yes, Canada, beware. On Tuesday when you play Slovenia, you've got a 35-year-old Dejan Kondrak. He is Slovenia's version of Wayne Gretzky. Two things. First off, they must not have televisions in Slovenia. And this guy has some clear goals. I'll show you what they are. That is him on the screen in blue. The only player on the screen. He's the only player they have on their team. Watch the effort level here. Look at him dog the puck Oh, now I'll go back and get it again. Are you kidding me? This is the first shift of the hockey game for this guy. Now here's the end of the shift. Maybe he's a little tired. It's 8 seconds later.
He is 35.
Yeah, he's 35. Watch this dogged forecheck. It's a wonder that he didn't get the puck and try to create an offensive chance. He hasn't taken a stride since the blue line. Now, he didn't finish off there. The ugliness continues, and you have to have knowledge to be the Slovenian version of Wayne Gretzky. But let's take a look at his positioning here. This is the goal. On the right of your screen. What is he, checking the referee?
14.
Are you kidding? Now, hey, this is unconscionable. This guy has 2 goals in a hockey game. The first, don't get hit. Second, don't break a sweat, because then I'm quicker to the bar after. I don't have to shower. It's insanity.
Well, the greater point here, I think, that Glenn's trying to get to is, when are we going to end this idea of so-and-so is Gretzky and so-and-so is Gretzky? We've seen it time and time again where we've had player after player called, let's see, the Czech-Slovakian Gretzky, back when it was Czechoslovakia, Igor Liba, and the Russian Gretzky, Larionov, the Slovenian Gretzky, the Swedish Gretzky. Oh, are we going to have the Fijian Gretzky and the Papua New Guinean Gretzky? Leave it alone. There's only one guy, although a couple of these guys have merit, like Larionov.
Well, Igor Larionov, quite simply, is one of the finest people I've ever met in my life, in hockey or out of hockey. I think he could be a head coach in the NHL, and we didn't get him over in the NHL until I think he was 36. I'm exaggerating, obviously. His prime years on the KLM line, had he been in the NHL, I think he would have been a legitimate star in the National Hockey League. I think he was a really accomplished player as it is, and I predict that this guy, if he wants to, will be a head coach in the NHL.
And, you know, when you look at Gretzky, skill is one part of it. That's only one small part of it. There are a couple other intangibles. His ability to compete, his knowledge of the game. Those are unquestionable. And I think all those things come together with a skill package that make him the phenomenal player he is. What we tend to look at as scouts, we look at Gretzky and his skills and other players in countries.
I want to show you
Nylander
Nylander first. Did he merit consideration as a Gretzky?
Yeah, no question. When he had the puck, he was as dangerous as anybody. But does he compete night in, night out? No, he doesn't show up, especially if you're playing physically. And the intangible side of the ledger, the knowledge side of the ledger, not so great.
By the way, there's the real Gretzky. And who's in nets for that?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Another one.
Oh, wait, there's another one. It's Glenn Healy's demo tape.
Now, the only reason he got 3,000 points was me.
Yeah, well,
That's the only reason.
You were in for 50.
He made a ton of goalies in the world look like that.
You know, I think the point we're trying to make, and you know what, I hate people who blame the media for everything, but that's the media's fault. We always love to label somebody the next Gretzky, and whether you're in whatever country you're in.
Well, I signed Nylander when he first came over from Sweden. I signed him in Hartford. I did not draft him. This is a really crafty player. He uses a really ugly stick. He has a thin blade. I don't know how he can play with this stick, but this guy can pass the puck as well as anybody. He's a good short burst skater. He doesn't have a good top end speed. He doesn't have a fifth gear, but quick burst, good player.
The point is, good players, but there is
Not
only
Gretzky.
one Wayne Gretzky, and I'm sorry, Dajan Contract, but you are not Wayne Gretzky. Lots more ahead. One of the things you're always looking for in a tournament like this is pro experience, NHL experience. Team Canada's roster averages 7.2 years of NHL experience. Chris Draper leads the way with 14 years. At the other end of the scale is Rick Nash with just 2. There's only one guy in that locker room who does not have any NHL experience. It would be the coach, Mark Habscheid, but that does not concern him or his players. It's not where you have coached, he says, it's how you coach. Here's Ryan Rashog.
When Mark Habscheid took on the job as Team Canada's head coach for the World Championships, he knew the one question he would be facing constantly. How can a guy who's never coached a day in the NHL lead a group of NHLers on the world stage? When that question came, he met it head on.
Have I coached an NHL game? No, I haven't. So I'm not going to dispute that. That's the way it is. But having said that, do I feel good about my ability? Sure I do.
Habscheid has plenty of international experience, both on the ice and behind the bench. He's also surrounded himself with a wealth of coaching knowledge.
I'm surrounded by some pretty good coaches in Tom Rennie and Craig McTavish, and we're going to coach as a team. And I understand in the end I have to make some tough decisions, and I have no problem with that, but I'm certainly going to use the resources around me.
It's a great dialogue between the three of us, throwing ideas back and forth. And ultimately he'll grab onto what he thinks best suits this hockey club.
I think Mark always really does have the best interests of the team at heart. I'm hoping, obviously, that it's not at his own expense as a coach, you know, with his opportunity to grow and develop, because he's all about, you know, all about that. And as I mentioned earlier, he's a terrific coach, and I think that people will certainly come to recognize how good in the next few weeks.
Slowly but surely, the players are getting to know his style, and they like what they see.
He's a guy that goes out there and respects the guys on the ice in practices, and you know, you see him digging pucks out of nets, and you know, he's just one of the boys.
I don't take this job lightly. It's a great opportunity, but like I said earlier, we're going to do it as a team. The players, the coaching staff, the support staff, everyone's going to do it together, pointed in the same direction.
He's a very talented, capable coach, and on top of that, I think maybe we get along so well because he's a redneck farmer from Saskatchewan, and I guess to some extent so am I.
Mark Habscheid scouting the U.S. team, I suppose, and the Slovenian team, but more the U.S. team, who have a 3-0 lead after one period of play. The second is just ahead. Your first period scoring summary, all USA, 3 goals, Knuble, Hall, and Parrish, each with their first of the tournament, of course, and a 3-0 U.S. lead after one period of play. The shots on goal, 14-6 in favor of the Americans. As a footnote to our little discussion there about the Slovenian Gretzky, why isn't anyone ever called the Slovenian Healy? Never happens. By the way, Brian Burke used to call himself the Irish Gretzky. As we head to the second period, once again, Gord Miller and Pierre Maguire.
I'm assuming that Brian Burke was the Irish Brent Gretzky.
How about Michael Nylander? Brian signed him. I coached him.
That's right.
I can tell you this story. Once we were playing a game in the old Boston Garden, and Michael liked to make dipsy-doodle plays in the neutral zone. So I kept telling him, Michael, you can't do that. You can't make that play or we're going to be in trouble here. Did it 3 times in a row. The last time I said, Nick, what are you doing in old Boston Garden? We allowed Don Sweeney to score the shorthanded goal because of a Nylander turnover. And he said, but coach, but Pierre, I am the sweetest Ryan Gretzky.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing he said for the rest of that game.
Yes. Oh, those are the days, eh, Pierre? When you could treat people badly with impunity.
Yes. In fact, Brian might have been at that game. It was a Thanksgiving Day game in Boston. Hartford and Boston used to play traditionally on Thanksgiving Day game on a nationally broadcast situation on ESPN.
You know what, Pierre? There might be a little country looking for a dictator. You could apply. You'd be perfect.
And Brian used to say that when he was a general manager. This isn't a democracy, it's a dictatorship.
He says it now at TSN. Here's Cole across the line with Modano and Knuble. Walking in is Cole. Knuble gets a shot away, and gloving that is Robert Kristan. And he'll hang on to it. 28 seconds into this second period.
Mike Knuble, boy, I'll tell you what, Philadelphia made a smart acquisition. They signed him as a free agent over the summer just before everybody shut it down. And Mike Knuble's doing a real good job. Actually signed on July 3rd. 30 goals in 2002, 2003. But you remember that elephant line in Boston? He and Joe Thornton and Glenn Murray, they just wreaked havoc on the Eastern Conference.
Here's Aaron Miller tapping it back to the line. A drive from Paul Martin goes just wide. The rebound comes out the other side. Mike Knuble gets to it. Now Knuble playing it there for Mike Modano. Modano, Knuble, and Cole, the first line for the U.S. Modano playing in international competition for the U.S. for the 10th time in his career.
Same as Ryan Smith for Canada.
He was a tremendous junior in Anchorage in '89, and the year before that in Moscow in 1988.
In '89, the Americans had Roenick, Amonte, Modano. They had some serious iron coming at you.
Russians were good that year too.
Fedorov, Bure,
McGillney.
Yeah.
Knuble flips it in for the U.S. and heads off the ice. Lacking around the boards is Durovich. And gloved down by Waite. He lost the puck, and away with it comes Kondratz. Kondratz across the line. Poke check easily there by Brett Hauer. Now Kondratz after it, but Mark Parrish gets there first.
Kondratz going to try harder because Glenn did a tap dance on him after the first period.
Well, he didn't there. We'll wait. Here's Park across the line. Richard Park waits. U.S. in the middle of a change, and a penalty coming up as Robert Kristan, the Slovenian netminder, was knocked down. I think Mark Parrish might have been the man who took him down. They're going to call the Slovenian for the trip.
Yeah, they are. They're going to call Rebol for the trip. And Mark Parrish was going hard to the net, and Robert Kristan gets hauled down because of the collision in the crease. I think they're going to call Rebols, number 27. He's going to get it. There you go. Ball mouth confrontation. Yeah, it's Reboll that's going to get the penalty for hauling Parrish down, driving hard to the net.
Interesting they blew the whistle there with the U.S. holding onto the puck.
They really try to protect the goaltenders in international hockey, and I think that's a positive.
One of the things that you'll see in international hockey is if a player is in the crease and interfering with the goaltender in any way, the whistle will be blown and the faceoff goes outside. So the U.S. to the power play. Wait with Parrish. And Richard Park up front. This is Leopold back at the line. Winds and fires. Kristen makes the save. Gloved down by Marcel Rodman to the line, but not out. Howard down low for Richard Park. Parrish is posted up in front. Doug Waite. Back to the line, Howard. For Waite. Waits. Back to the line. Howard, a drive, goes just wide, and it bounces by Richard Park. Leopold. For Park. To the line, Howard. Cross for Waite. Parrish knocked down in front. Waite to Howard. Now Howard gets around Rodman. And to Doug Waite. Lots of traffic. Backdoor feed for Leopold, who was pinching in and missed him.
Doug Waite's so good at that. Remember when he used to do that to Billy Guerin all the time?
Now in front, Parrish a drive, and a bullet stopped by Robert Kristen.
The thing about Doug Waite, he's so smart. He finds backdoor seams, and he just has that quick release. He snaps the puck right through the seam.
So anyway, give Kristen credit. That was Mark Parrish, a legitimate NHL scorer, and he got all of that.
A guy that scored 30-plus goals in the league many times.
Now Modano with a full head of steam. It's poke check there by Mitya Robar, and the U.S. is forced to regroup. 45 seconds to go in this power play.
Gord, I got a pet peeve I want to share with the listeners. I don't want to see an American player ever wear number 2 again in international competition. That's Brian Leach's number. And no disrespect meant to Brett Howard, but he's no Brian Leach. He should not be wearing Brian Leach's number. I'm telling you. Nobody would wear 99. I'm not comparing the two, but Brian Leach did a lot for American hockey. He really did. Put it away, boys.
Knubel battling down in the corner. Modano back there as well. Plays that to the line, but it eludes John Michael Lyles. And goes all the way down the ice as DiPietro is out to play it. Final seconds of this U.S. power play. The Americans lead 3-0. By the way, the Swiss have a goal, trailing the Czechs by a score of 2-1. Second period getting underway in Vienna.
Prospo and Yager scored for the Czech Republic.
Yesterday, the Austrians were tied with Russia 2-2. So the Russians scored in the third, then got an empty netter to win it 4-2.
Way different Russian team than some of the names you're used to hearing from Russia.
Mike York digging down in the corner. Brian Giunta as well, along with Jeff Halpern. This checking line for the U.S. Halpern looking for it. Giunta digging. And now Halpern comes in to help out. Leaning on him is Boyan Zaitz. The referee, the Russian Blanov, urging them to move the puck, and they do. This is York centering pass cut by everyone. And it's steered out of the zone by Zagar, but Paul Martin hustles back to pick it up. Martin, long lead feed for Giunta, who knocks that down, but the play is offside at the Slovenian line. This is the 2005 World Hockey Championship on TSN. Back here in Innsbruck, day 2 of the 2005 World Hockey Championship. The United States leads Slovenia by a score of 3-0.
Team Canada's coaching staff here after having a spirited practice this morning, 45 minutes and off.
Adam Hall with it out there along with Jan Stastny and David Legwand. Hall looking across for Stastny, couldn't get him the puck, and now Stastny comes up with it. Jan Stastny, son of the Hall of Famer Peter Stastny. Now Legwand, a shot in front, knocked out. Here's Martin. Puck was played with a high stick, so Martin wisely left it. And now gathers it back up. Gets knocked down from behind by Šivic, and in comes Slovenia. Shot there by David Rodman. That rolls wide of the goal. Now circling back is Legwand. Legwand, whose skating was compared to that of Mike Modano when he came into the NHL from the Ontario Hockey League. And Stastny rolls back to pick it up. Eric Cole with Legwand. Cole still with it, flips it down, and it's steered away by Kristen. He'll hang on. Here, the United States last won this championship in 1960. That was a combined World Championship and Olympics. And the U.S. took the Olympic gold in Squaw Valley.
Cleary
Jack
brothers.
McCartan is the goaltender, and the World Championship title that went with it.
Eric Cole driving in on goal. Remember Eric Cole in his breakout year 2002 in the playoffs? The BBC line, Brenda Moore, Battaglia, and Cole. Cole had 6 goals in the playoffs that year. Brenda Moore had 4 and Battaglia had 5.
Madano knocks it back. Andy Roach with a shot through traffic. That deflects wide of the goal. Kristen just gets a pad down as it came off the live end boards. Now loose in front. Knuble gets to it, scores! Kristen with a bad misplay, and Mike Knuble has his 2nd of the game.
Well, Kristen with a bad misplay, but Dijon Varl, he's in my doghouse. It's going to be tough for him to get out. This is just a lack of effort. Number 10 in blue. And Mike Knuble's a big person, yes, at 6'3", 226 pounds. But if you're going to play at this level, you have to battle. And Mike Knuble right here just wants the puck more than Dijon Varl. Watch Dijon Varl. Just get away from me. And that's what Mike Knuble does to him.
Pierre, he's 5'10", 180 pounds.
Mike
Knuble is 6'3", 226. He outweighs him by 45 pounds.
Brian Rafalski has to play against guys like that all the time, and he's smaller than Dijon Varl.
He's not Slovenian.
It's not a knock on a Slovenian. That guy could be from anywhere, and he's still. You got to compete.
They have 200 registered players, Pierre.
I understand, but Mike Knuble's strong, and he wants it.
Yeah, does he ever?
He says, "Get away from me. I want the puck." Dijon Varl checking for his chicklets right there.
You're merciless, you know that?
Well, no, I just want guys to compete. I don't care where they're from. Just try. Brian Burke will tell you the same thing. He's evaluated players for pay. He'll tell you the same thing. Guys that don't compete, give them a hard time.
4-0 the U.S. leading on Knuble's 2nd. And icing is the call against the U.S.
Well, Mike Knuble, boy. He has really found his way in the forest through the National Hockey League.
This is 4th World Championship for the U.S.
Yeah. Rick DiPietro made 4 spectacular saves, really, seriously, in the first period. Nothing here in the second so far. And as this game goes along, we're going to see some good offense from the Americans and some real shoddy defense from the Slovenian side.
Eric Cole, poke check there. Madano playing it behind the goal, back for Knuble with Cole. Cole gets away with that clearing attempt. Bounces down for Knuble as Madano comes in to help out. Madano poking neatly, and now Contreras held up his stick and took the puck away from him. Madano not too pleased about that. Ivo Jan across the line, winds and fires. That shot blocked by Knuble.
Doing it all.
And Hal Gill backhands it out. If there was a monster today, I think you might pick Mike Knuble.
I certainly would. Blocking shots, scoring goals, overwhelming people that don't want to compete.
Just couldn't resist, could you?
No.
Huh? The Pierre Maguire doghouse has a one-way door.
You were telling me that the other day.
It's like the Hotel California. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Michel Bergeron used to be like that too. When you were in his doghouse in Quebec, ooh la la.
Here's Parrish for Doug Waite. Waite spins back in the corner, waits for the change to be completed. Back to the line. Brett Hauer, a shot. That's blocked. And away come the Slovenians. Rosic. And a long drive there by Jagar. And Rick DiPietro makes a rare stop. 4-0 to score. Mike Madano on the bench for the United States, the captain of this U.S. national team at the World Championship. Halpern off the face-off, wins it back, and Paul Martin gathers it up. Aaron Miller. Back for Martin. That pass ahead to Mike York. U.S. will close out the round robin against Canada coming up on Thursday. Ryan Giunta. For that, they'll play Latvia on Tuesday.
Talking to John Tortorella the other day, he said Canada and U.S. 2 spirited pre-tournament games, one in Halifax, one in Quebec City. He really enjoyed those games.
Giunta battling down there. And one of the things that the players who played in those games will tell you, love no red line. Oh, Halpern trying to center it, scores! Off a skating in for Jeff Halpern, and it is 5-0 in favor of the United States.
Mija Šivic goes post to post for his goaltender. Jeff Halpern, real tenacious checker, not known for his goal scoring ability since he left Princeton University after a stellar 4-year career there. But the puck goes in off Šivic's foot. Good little battle down low. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't Šivic, it was Sotlar. Sotlar's skate actually deflects the puck by the goaltender.
And Pierre, you alluded to it earlier, a very difficult year for Jeff Halpern. Lost his mom, his aunt, and his uncle in a terrible car crash in Florida. One of the classy guys in the National Hockey League, as you mentioned, from Princeton University. Went to Washington on a free agent tryout in the summer. Just went to a pro camp they had and wound up making the team.
In 69 college games, he had 50 goals at Princeton. That's not an easy thing to do. He's the first Maryland-born player ever to play for the Washington Capitals.
And he grew up in the Capitals' minor hockey system. And suffered a terrible knee injury after a great first year in the league.
Yeah, and you said it, a real gentleman.
David Legwand across the line for the U.S. Drops it back. Jan Stastny streaking into the play. Now Stastny drops it back for David Legwand. And Legwand centering pass gets by everyone. And back with it the other way is Marcel Rodman. Long lead pass there for Razinger. A shot stopped by DiPietro. Jan Varl, number 10. Jousting there with Jan Stastny. The puck gets by him. 2-on-1. Legwand drops it back. Takes the return pass from Hall. And it misfired. That was almost like practice for the U.S. Now Stastny with a shot that gets blocked. Back in front. Legwand, a backhand shot. And Varl to the line, not out. And a shot there from Roach. And Kristen Down makes the stop just long enough as play is called.
Marcel Rodman just quit on this last play. Team USA gets a quality scoring opportunity. Poor Robert Kirsten, he's just in there by himself. You see Rodman coming back too late. Chance after chance against Kristen. Wow. Here's the Halpern goal. Right off Mia Sodelar's right foot or left foot.
5-0 the U.S. leading here in the first period, or second period rather. First game of the tournament for the U.S. Canada open with a win on this side yesterday. Mike Knuble, a shot goes high and wide. Here's Jordan Leopold with it. Leopold bounces it down in the corner. Eric Cole comes up looking for it. Modano reaches in. And now Contreras lost the puck to Brett Hauer, who fires it in. Mike Knuble can't quite get to that puck. And now moving it ahead is Ivo Jan, who was stripped of it easily by Hauer. Knuble drops it off for Modano, stays onside, drops it back for Eric Cole. Looking back for Modano, bouncing puck. Here's Hauer on his backhand. Plays it back, and here's Knuble with it. Ivo Jan has 3 goals in 11 career games at the Men's World Championship. And they move it across the line, and he goes offside.
Jordan Leopold plays on defense with Brett Hauer. Jordan Leopold is a player we really have to give some credit to. Daryl Sutter and Jim Playfair. Last year he played all 82 games for Calgary. Gord, during the regular season, he averaged 22 minutes of ice time. In the playoffs, almost 26 minutes of ice time. So it showed the respect level they have. And by the way, if you're in Calgary listening to this, I know everybody likes to trash Craig Button and some of the things he did there. One of the first big moves Craig Button did, go out and get Jordan Leopold in a trade with Anaheim. And it was a real good trade for Calgary.
Waite comes streaking across the line for the U.S. Waite still with it, bouncing at his feet. Gathered up there by Raybold, who plays it up along the boards. Leopold was named to the U.S. World Cup roster, but could not participate in that tournament due to injury. And that's a big compliment to a young guy to be named to that roster.
Absolutely.
Yuri Golicic, as we mentioned, played Junior A in Cumberland. Also played in Owen Sound in the Ontario Hockey League. You may remember the Jeff Kugel incident in that league where Kugel went a little haywire in a game, got suspended for life. Well, the guy he knocked out was Yuri Golicic. That's his claim to fame in the OHL. Got KO'd. Richard Park battling for it there. Now back it goes to Hal Gill, and Gill towering over the Slovenians in this game.
That was David Rodman, 5'9".
I know. And Gill just pounded down David Rodman. Gill for Park. And you joke about it, but when you bring 16 teams to the World Championship and Parrish goes down dangerously, you get mismatches like this, and you can get physical mismatches too.
Yeah.
Park looking for that loose puck. Icing is the call against the United States. You know, you get a guy like Hal Gill, who's a National Hockey League tough defenseman against smaller players. It can be dangerous.
Richard Park right there, you saw him skating away. He played 91 straight NHL games. This is what I like about Richard Park. 3 straight years after those 91 games in the American League. never played in the NHL, so that guy's got some stick-to-itiveness to him. He really wanted to be an NHL player. Now in Minnesota, playing very well when he plays for Jacques Lemaire.
Paul Martin battling for the loose puck in the corner. Halpern comes up with it. Playing it there for York. Aaron Miller fires it in. Robert Kristen back to play it, leaves it there for Dejan Varl. Now a loose puck in front, and Kristen had to be quick there as Giunta was looking for it.
Dejan Varl, not my favorite.
Wow. No, he won't play on Team McGuire anytime soon, will he?
He'll only be on any coach's team.
I'm not sure you'd let him walk your dog right now. Jeff Halpern brings the puck across the line. He remains onside as Halpern goes down looking for Giunta. Giunta, Halpern, and York for the U.S. Pretty good energy line. And here's Halpern in behind the goal, walking in front. Halpern gets 2 whacks at it. Kristen makes the stop.
Anze Kopitar coming back to help out because they have no clue in their own zone right now, especially with Dejan Varl. Well, I mean, the guy keeps getting exposed.
By you.
Well, people at home can see it too, I hope.
Here's Stastny. Drops it off for Adam Hall. A centering pass, and Kristen hangs on to that. We're back to Innsbruck, Austria, right after this. 22-year-old Robert Kristen seeing his second action at the World Championship. Played against Sweden in 2002. Gave up 7 goals on 49 shots. Brett Howard plays it across. John Michael Lyles a shot that's deflected wide. Battle for the loose puck as Adam Hall comes up with it. Plays it back for Lyles. That shot drifts wide again. Now Howard steps up. Howard sends it in front, and Kristen's seen enough of that, and he'll hang on.
I think they're going to give Kristen a break at some point and come with Gaber Babic. Think so, Gord?
Can't say as I can read Slovenian minds very well, Pierre.
It's unbelievable. Give the guy a break.
In Vienna, still 2-1 in favor of the Czech Republic over Switzerland. Czechs look very impressive in the pre-tournament game against Canada.
Thomas Vokoun was awesome.
Without Jágr, Hemsky, and some of their stars. Alex Hemsky, one of the best players in the Czech Extra League this year.
In the playoffs, he was the MVP. Pardubice, they won.
The Edmonton Oilers will be excited about that.
Craig McTavish was thrilled about that.
Mike Manano plays it in. Knubel down there as well. Here comes Cole steaming in. And quickly distributing the puck was Raybol. And the puck leaves the zone.
Good decision maker. Put that on your scouting file.
Self-preservation is a wonderful thing. Zagar fires it in. And Gill comes in. Mike Manano gathers up the loose puck. Manano, long lead pass. He was looking there for Eric Cole. It just missed. Now Knubel with a loose puck. Knubel has the puck in his feet. Looking down there for Manano. Chips it on goal. Well, look out. Manano and Cole collided there, and Cole went down awkwardly.
Certainly did.
Gathered up there by Raybol. And both Manano and Cole are up and appear to be fine.
Rabel's been one of the few players for Slovenia that hasn't been intimidated physically. Stood up big time on Knubel earlier in the game, stepped up on Madonna once. Hal Gill talking about speaking up. But here's that collision you were alluding to. Raybol just getting the stick engaged on Mike Knubel's back leg. Or on Eric Cole's back leg, excuse me. Hal Gill right there, 6'7", with skates on, closer to 6'9". He was a tremendous high school quarterback, by the way, Gord, when he was playing at Neshoba High School in Massachusetts, drafted by Boston in 1993 with a 207th pick.
Now got a penalty coming up to Slovenia, as it appears as though Sotlar got his stick up, and high sticking is the call, so the United States will go back to the power play.
Hal Gill really benefited too, by the way, breaking in after playing 4 years at Providence College, playing with Raymond Bork. That didn't hurt. Having Donnie Sweeney around didn't hurt as well, and having Pat Burns for a coach didn't hurt either.
So Sutler goes off. The United States is 0 for 2 on the power play so far. This is where you miss the old guard. Leach, Kachuk, Roenick, Amante.
Either that or there weren't enough pucks on the ice.
Doug Waite will quarterback this American power play. Howard back for Waite. Parrish out there along with Park up front. Waite fires. Shot blocked in front. Parrish can't get to it. Now Richard Park. Back for Waite. Leopold pinches up. Howard a drive. That's chipped over the glass and out of play.
Doug Waite, 9 years in Edmonton. His best year was 95-96. He was spectacular. Mark Parrish right there. But this is what Doug Waite does so well. Distributes the puck and he makes everybody better because he can hold that puck that extra second. Had 104 points in 95-96. He was awesome for Edmonton back then. Ryan Smith breaking in. Remember that, Gord? In Edmonton.
Remember him in the 91 World Junior as well. Led the tournament in scoring that year.
Yeah. Seager was on his line as well in Edmonton back then.
Here's Mark Parrish. Battling there as Brett Howard comes up with the puck. Minute and a half to go in this U.S. power play. Wade stepping up. The puck knocked by him. Anze Kopitar comes in one-on-one with Jordan Leopold.
Show me what you got.
Short-handed.
No.
Puck goes into the corner. What do you think?
Leopold, not bad. Not bad, Kopitar. He's got good get up and go. He's got good hands. He's got excellent hockey sense. Not a liability defensively, especially considering he's 17 years of age. No, not bad at all. Good size.
John Michael Lyles across the line, plays it in behind the goal. And getting to that puck is Dervarich. Can't get it out though. John Michael Lyles across. And playing it down for Roach. Down for Waite. Waite has that pass broken up. And now sent ahead. This is Thomas Rasinger. Short-handed. Rasinger spins back. Slovenia getting in a change, so Rasinger just plays it across for Dervarich. And he'll fire it in for Slovenia. 30 seconds to go in the U.S. power play. Lyles up ahead for Modano, comes streaking in. Here comes Modano in full stride, curls back. And now Modano drops it back to the line. Roach had to be quick to save that.
Watching Modano in full flight is outstanding. It is really fun.
Modano battling down there as well. And here's Cole. And the puck gets back to Roach at the line. Rolling puck. Roach fires that. Knubel rather just tipped it wide. Now Knubel knocks it down. Here's Modano with it, side of the goal. Penalized player back on the ice. Hauer drills that wide. Sotlar for Ivo Jan coming in. Jan spilled. No penalty in the play. The Slovenians in the crowd whistling it down. And now Modano with it with Eric Cole. Cole takes the feed from Modano. Rolling puck, couldn't get a shot away.
John Michael Lyles playing the puck, not the man. Almost got victimized.
And that puck goes up over the glass and out of play. Back to Innsbruck, Austria after this. Play just underway here in Innsbruck. The United States is now short-handed after Mike Knubel has gone off for slashing. And Slovenia on the power play. Golicic sends that ahead for Peter Rosic. And Rick DiPietro plays that high off the glass, not quite out. And now Mike York skates ahead with it with Jeff Halpern. And York flips that down the ice. 3.5 minutes to go here in the second period. U.S. with a 5-0 lead. Mike Knubel has scored twice.
Who do you like better, Roberto Luongo or Rick DiPietro?
That's a loaded question. Anze Kopitar, number 25, in the corner with it. Drops it off for Rasinger. Rasinger fighting off a check, looking there for Kopitar. Rasinger gets it back into the corner. Here's Kopitar in front, can't get a good shot away. And Hal Gill gathers it up for the U.S. Gill with Waite and Richard Park shorthanded. Here comes Waite. Waite circling in behind the goal. And 3 Slovenians go after Doug Waite, and he's still got the puck.
Kopitar needs to get out of Europe and get over to North America. I can tell you that right now. Doesn't have enough of a rough edge to his game.
Cole working 1-on-3. He's hauled down. And Kopitar sends it ahead. This is David Rodman. Drops it off for Anze Kopitar. He's checked off the puck by Brett Howard. And now Jan Stasny gets a stick on it. And Stasny working on Dejan Varel. Almost broke in behind him. Marcel Rodman back the other way, trying to center it there. Couldn't get it to Kopitar. Final seconds of the Slovenian power play. Varel in front for Kopitar. Backdoor pass, just misfired, looking for Marcel Rodman.
But there's an example of his hockey sense. He knows that Marcel Rodman's wide open in the slot.
Now Knubel looking for the hat-trick. A shot stopped there by the pad of Robert Kristen. Under 2 to go in the second period. U.S. leading 5-0. John Michael Lyles up ahead for Adam Hall, looking through the middle for David Legwan. Legwan circling back, trying to get it back for Hall. And Ivo Jan plays out ahead. Lyles takes a bump there from Contreras, but gets the puck out. Contreras. Turglav shot blocked there. Goes down in the corner to John Michael Lyles, and DiPietro plays that away to Mike York.
Turglav spends a lot of time in Baie-Comeau, played in the Quebec Major Junior League for 4 years, and his good buddy is Bruno Saint-Jacques. They're going to run a hockey school in Slovenia this summer. Bruno Saint-Jacques plays for Carolina Hurricanes.
And this is Turglav with it. Trying to move that puck in front, bounces down behind the goal. And Legwan gets to it, golfs it down the ice. 2-on-1 for the U.S. This is Mike York trying to get it in front and couldn't find Adam Hall. Kondrets sends it ahead for Turglav. Dropping it off, Shivitz. Shivitz in front, still with it, waiting for help to arrive. Plays it down, now walking out in front. A slow backhand shot blocked in front as Kondrets couldn't get a good shot away. And now the U.S. comes away again. Legwan was trying to spring Adam Hall again. And now Legwan gathers it up as the U.S. changes. Legwan plays it across. The puck leaves the zone, and offside is the call at the Slovenian line with 25 seconds to go in the second period.
Ryan Giunta played a little bit for Albany in the American Hockey League this year, 9 games. Last year in the NHL, he had 75 games played, 21 goals, but he very popular. Pat Burns in 2003 in the playoffs used him so many different ways. Killing penalties, checking with Mike Pandolfo, or Jay Pandolfo. He did so many things, and Rick DiPietro, the goaltender for the New York Islanders, coming up with a save. But Ryan Giunta is one of those guys you'd love to have him on your team. All he ever does is win.
This is Giunta with the puck, the leading scorer at the '99 World Junior in Winnipeg, and he was tremendous along with Scott Gomez.
Great combination. Both of them drafted by New Jersey, obviously.
Golicic takes the return pass, banks that off the boards and out. Augustinčić sends it in, and Hal Gill hangs on to that. 5-0 the U.S. leads. Our second intermission is coming up.
Thank you, Gord, and that will feature, of course, Brian Burke and Glenn Healy's comments from the second period. And we'll talk to the coach of last year's Team Canada gold medal winning team, all when we return.
Ryan Smith.
All right, James Duthie back with Brian Burke and the Scottish Wayne Gretzky, Glenn Healy. We know Team Canada is watching this game closely, mostly to watch the Americans, of course. They do have the Slovenians first on Tuesday. But not just scouting, but also perhaps an opportunity to copy some of the good things the Americans are doing.
Well, there's a bit of a difference in international hockey. You've got the two-line pass that you can make, no red line. You've got the big ice. And so what you have to do, when you play most of these European teams, they trap. That's their style. It's a total retreat style. You have to activate your defense, and Team USA has done that effectively this evening. If you look to the left of your screen, Jordan Leopold jumps into play, spends a little bit of the shift as a forward in front of the net. We saw that from Jovanovski in Vancouver. And ultimately, with a real nice pass, ends up getting a real good chance. So they activate their defense. Gill, not really known, you see him disappear to the right of your screen, not known as an offensive defenseman, but when you get the opportunity, you have to jump in the play. And if Knubel doesn't score, he would have scored the goal. So for Redden, for Boyle, for Jovanovski, the one thing we found with Team Canada yesterday was the fact that they were disjointed. The other forwards played as a group, but their D played as a separate group. You have to attack in units of 5. You have to attack together, especially with the bigger ice and the different changes in rules. So Team USA, they've done a fantastic job. Lyles has done a good job with it, and the entire group of them, including Gill. The only guy I haven't seen offense from is Miller, but the rest of them, they're jumping in the play, and I think that is something you have to do to be effective in international hockey.
Of course, it looks a lot easier when you're doing it against somebody like Slovenia. Now, you ripped the Slovenian Wayne Gretzky in our first intermission, and you're going to give them a hard time on defense for what they did in the second period.
Well, if you watch the first 2 goals that Team USA scored are on 2-on-1s, bad pinches by the defense, as Pierre pointed out. But for the young players watching this, this is not how you play a 2-on-1. You've got to eliminate that pass. These are 2 goals And another chance you'll see, this is as poorly played a 2-on-1 as you're going to see in your life. You got to take away that pass. Let the goaltender play the guy who has a poor shooting angle. Just horrendous. And then we'll see an example where it's played better. So I'm not picking on Slovenia as much as pointing out for younger players, that's not what you do in a 2-on-1. It's just not how you play it.
But you are picking on Slovenia. They have 103 professional players. They have 6 indoor rinks. They're a B-pool team. We get off their backs.
I didn't put them into this tournament. They elected to play in this tournament. We've got to comment on their play. And seriously, if you look at it, these are preventable goals. When you have a lousy pinch, a dumb pinch where a guy tries to stay in against the forward, doesn't contain him, turns into an outnumbered attack, and then they can't play the outnumbered attack properly, guess what? That's why they're down badly in this game.
And Berkey's pointing it out so that people at home that are watching, that they learn from this, you know? And as a goaltender, it's depend and rely. You depend on your defenseman to take away the pass, and you rely on the fact you're going to make the save. And in those situations, one, you've got the Slovenian going at him like he's the Mountie. I got my man. There's just absolutely no form of teammanship involved in this.
All right, so you're not critics. You're just educators, correct?
Correct.
Yes. We'll get you a tissue later.
I still think you're giving them way too hard a time. It is the Americans in complete control in this one. When we return, the only coach who's ever won a World Championship gold medal and a World Junior gold medal. He almost won a Stanley Cup as well. He's next. Our next Canadian game comes your way Tuesday against the Slovenians. You are watching today, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Canada's second game at the World Hockey Championship. You know, about this time last year, smack dab in the middle of the playoffs, our NHL and TSN playoff analyst just got up and walked out, just quit right in the middle of things. It was really unforgivable. I had this little gig about coaching Canada to gold at the World Hockey Championship, but still I've not forgiven him. But bygones, we've let him come back for a couple minutes anyway. It's Anaheim Mighty Ducks coach Mike Babcock joining us. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great, James. Thanks for having me on.
You look very intelligent with all those books behind you. Congratulations.
Well, I think so as well.
I want to talk about a guy who helped you get that gold medal last year, the tournament MVP, Danny Heatley. We all have seen what he can do on the ice, but you saw him up close. What sort of intangibles make him such a special player?
Well, I think he's a real special player. Obviously, he's gifted physically. He's a tall kid, got a great reach. But I think the thing that makes him different than a lot of guys is he wants to be the guy. When it comes to overtime, when it comes to a key situation in the game, he thinks he's going to score the goal, and that's what he did for us.
Did you challenge him? What did you do to get the best out of him?
Well, I think the big thing we talk to Heater about all the time is don't play like Tinkerbell. Play like a big man, because you are a big man. He can be physically dominant as well, but he also can make the cute moves, and that was the biggest challenge. Just play big every day.
And you have to play big on that big ice surface. Danny Heatley can play on any ice surface, but what makes him so effective on the larger international ice?
Well, I've heard that, but I think he's real good at home here. I think as his leg gets better and his first step gets better, he'll be better over here. But over there, you don't have to stop and start as much. You can keep yourself going. Maybe that helps him.
Now, what about Team Canada on the big international ice in this World Championship tournament? How does that affect their game plan?
Well, the game is exactly the same inside the dots. And I think the biggest advantage the Europeans have is in the neutral zone. From the top of the circles to the top of the circles, they play a cute game. They have good transition. As long as the North American teams get it behind them, get on top of them, we're way better in Canada from the top of the circles down in both ends, and that's where we're going to dominate the games.
Coach, thank you for this, and despite what I said off the top, you're welcome back here anytime.
Thanks, James, for having me on.
All right, Coach Mike Babcock of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, and formerly of Team Canada. And the one you're watching today, it's all Americans as expected so far. The third period is just ahead here on TSN. Welcome back. Second period scoring summary. Mike Knuble with his second of the tournament, second of the game at 5:48. Jeff Halpern, his first, and it is 5-0 for the Americans as we head towards the third period. Before we get there, I want to talk quickly with Glenn Healy and Brian Burke about the contrasting ways the U.S. team and the Canadian team were put together, in the sense that on the American roster, only 5 guys who didn't play regularly all year long in Europe or wherever. On the Canadian team, 15 guys. Now, again, as a GM, you said you liked the way Canada was put together, but would you have gone for more experience?
No, but I think you got to go with the best players. The fact that they haven't played doesn't mean they're still not the guys you want. I think Canada's chances against the U.S. are excellent with the team they have. As Heels pointed out, I'd like to see their defense a little more involved, but it was only the first game. It's very difficult to predict how Canada will do against an opponent like the U.S. when you watch a game like this. It's deceptive. The U.S. team isn't as good as they look against this team because it's a weak opponent.
And you look in goal. You've got Brodeur didn't play all year. You've got Conklin and DiPietro. Who would you rather have? The reason those guys played in Europe is they're younger and they have to progress their career. They had to work on their craft. They just can't let it shelf for a year.
All right, we'll find out on Thursday when Canada faces the U.S. For now, it's the third period of the Americans and Slovenia.
James, thank you. Back here in Innsbruck with Pierre Maguire. The United States with a 5-0 lead in Vienna after 2 periods of play. Czech Republic with a 2-1 lead on Switzerland.
Gord, I've been watching that game. Thomas Vokoun has been exceptional in goal for the Czech Republic, and Martin Gerber awesome. The shots are 28-16 in favor of the Czech Republic, but Gerber's been a gigantic story. And in the second period, the Swiss had 2 2-on-0s against Vokoun, and they didn't score on them.
So we'll monitor the score in that game. Tonight, Germany plays Kazakhstan in Vienna, and Sweden plays Ukraine here in Innsbruck. And the teams begin this third period. 5-on-5. Mike Knuble with the pair, as James Duthie mentioned. And Mike Modano's had a strong game for the U.S. as well, as Hal Gill goes back and picks it up. Here's Modano. Through the middle for Mike Knuble. Andy Roach jumping into the play for the U.S. Here's Roach in the corner with it. Trying to center for Knuble. Bangs away at it. It's off the side of the goal. Now back the other way. And a shot right on from Thomas Rasinger, turned away by Rick DiPietro. Marcel Rodman, as we mentioned, spent 2 years with Peterborough in the Ontario Hockey League. 36 goals in 2000-2001. He scored 6 goals in 6 games when Slovenia made its World Championship A-Pool debut in 2002. Only Peter Bondra for Slovakia had more goals in the tournament that year.
That's big-time company right there. Seriously, that's good stuff.
Richard Park across the line. Park being whacked at there as it bounces down to Doug Waite. John Michael Lyles. Fans on the pass, now gathers it back up. Waite calling for it in the corner. They can't get it to him, and Ivo Jan comes away with it. And a hit behind the play by Mark Parrish as he knocked down Ivo Jan. And now as the puck is touched, the United States will be shorthanded. Hooking is going to be the call. And I believe it will go against Mark Parrish.
You are correct, sir. Mark Parrish incredulous as he goes to the box, but it is a penalty.
Vyacheslav Bulanov is the Russian referee for this game, working his second World Championship. So Slovenia 0 for 2 on the power play, goes to work. Kopitar is the center. And Dejan Varl back on the line, goes for it. In behind the goal for Marcel Rodman. And we'll keep an eye on Anze Kopitar, number 25, wearing the full shield. Easy to pick out. And the puck squirts by Dejan Varl and goes down the ice. Kopitar is all the way down in front of Rick DiPietro. Now circling back, waiting for the long breakaway pass. That never comes. Rasinger. That pass kept in neatly there. And a shot from a sharp angle. DiPietro makes the stop on Anze Kopitar. And he hangs on.
This is great heads-up play by Anze Kopitar. And what he's doing, he's trying to get the puck to Rasinger. Rasinger's in the slot, but watch how quick Kopitar recognizes Rasinger's all by himself. This is just smart hockey. Quick release, get it on goal, try to get a deflection. Rasinger just can't get it by DiPietro, but very good awareness by Kopitar.
And the one thing with Kopitar that scouts will point out, he's a 17-year-old playing against men in this tournament. And very few draft-eligible players do well, never mind here, at the World Junior Championship even.
Absolutely correct. But the scouts really want to see him against men, and they are today.
Roach plays it down for the U.S. Among those who have had breakout performances at the World Championship of their draft year, Paul Correa would be in that group. Peter Forsberg was very strong for Sweden in his draft year at the Men's World Championship. Luka Zagar brings the puck through the middle, fires it in, looking there for Peter Rosic. Rosic battling with Hal Gill. 35 seconds to go in the Slovenian power play. And now Rosic working on Gill. Puck bounces away in front and poke checked neatly there by Eric Cole. Now in front and fanning on the shot was Ivo Jan, who was alone in front. And the stick of Miha Rabol explodes in his hand. And that allows the U.S. to clear. 10 seconds to go on the penalty to Parrish. 3 minutes gone here in the third period. U.S. making its first appearance in this year's championship after winning a bronze medal a year ago. Šivic in the corner with it, leaving it down there for Tommy Hafner. This is Hafner. Back there for Marcel Rodman. He's shoved down hard. And away comes the U.S. Parrish for Knuble. Knuble in front. Aaron Miller in alone. Miller on the wraparound. Try a penalty coming up as Miller goes down hard. And a penalty coming up to Slovenia as Knuble kicks it down. When was the last time Aaron Miller had the puck on his stick in alone that close? And as a result, he draws a penalty, and the U.S. will go to the power play when we come back. Slovenian goaltender Robert Kristen will go off for tripping. Well, he won't go off, but he'll be penalized for tripping, and Tommy Hafner will serve his penalty. And the U.S. goes back to the power play. And a chance in front. Doug Waite's backhand shot turned away by Robert Kristen. 0 for 3 are the Americans on the man advantage. Adam Hall. Now Waite with it. Waite sends it back to the line. There's a drive by Howard. Blocked in front. Bounces right down to Waite. Sends it there for Jordan Leopold. And the puck squirts away from Howard. And Rodman plays it there for Kopitar. Marcel Rodman had Doug Waite come back and pick his pocket. Waite brings it across the line. Wanted to drop it off for Richard Park. Now hangs on to it instead. Here's Waite from the corner with it. In front for Parrish. A loose puck. Kristen steers that away. And Ivo Jan steers that down the ice.
One thing Canada better be aware of when Doug Waite's on the ice, the backdoor feed. One of the ways of defending against that is posting up on Doug Waite and just taking away his space real quickly. In other ways, just have great backside coverage.
Terglav across the line. Tripped down John Michael Lyles. And now Madano with it. Back to the line. Roach with a shot that deflects wide of the goal. Knuble battling down in the corner. Eric Cole down there as well. The pass back to the line, and that handcuffed Andy Roach. And the puck leaves the zone. Roach up for Madano. Under 40 seconds to go in this U.S. power play. And if there's to be a criticism of a team that's up 5-0, the power play has been a bit rusty for the U.S. Here's Knuble coming in. Roach gloves it down. And Knuble with a pair of goals in the hockey game. Lost the puck, and coming with it is Yuri Golicic. Golicic, short-handed for Slovenia. Sends it in front, goes just wide of the goal. And there another chance, as firing it from the back was Jaka Augustincic. And that was stopped easily by DiPietro. Lyles fires it in. And the penalized player is back on the ice. The team's back to 5-on-5. 5:45 gone here in the third period. Side of the goal, David Legwand with it. Legwand down low, takes the return pass from Jan Stasny. And Stasny gets around that loose stick that was actually played into him. And here's Legwand back with it. Drops it off for Brett Hauer. Still with it. Hauer walking on in front. Hauer spins and fires, and Kristen makes a solid glove save, and he'll hang on.
That was a 5-on-5 sequence as well.
6:15 gone here in the third period.
Kristen not too pleased with the help from his defense. Don't blame him. And here's the big glove save on Howard. Howard coming out. Again, the 5-on-5 sequence. Terrible defensive zone coverage by Slovenia. Howard takes advantage of it. John Michael Lyles ending up on the seat of his pants because there's a stick engaged in his skate.
So Slovenia will play Canada on Tuesday and then close out the round robin against Latvia on Thursday. Again, 4 teams in each pool. There are 4 pools. The top 3 teams in each pool advance to what's called the qualification round. And out of those 12, the top 8 advance to the quarterfinal.
If Latvia plays as inspired as they were against Canada, they're going to upset somebody. They're going to beat somebody here pretty soon. I'm telling you.
Marcel Rodman backhands that out for Slovenia. And Jeff Halpern's back to pick it up. Hal Gill, long lead pass, tapped back by York for Halpern. Halpern streaking in across the line. Giunta looking for it, bounced away from him. Saved at the line by Hal Gill. Walking in is Gill with a shot, and a blocker save made by Kristen.
Kopitar just got walked on by Hal Gill.
Now Gill another drive, and that was up high on Kristen. He hangs on to that.
Kristen's done a good job. Can't fault him for a lot of the goals. Brian Burke was talking about the inept 2-on-1 play by Slovenia, and he's absolutely correct. Brian Giunta, a little buzzsaw out there. There's Hal Gill walking on Antti Kopitar. Hal Gill not known for his offense, but again, he's a big person. And for a young player like Antti Kopitar, there's a lot of learning that has to go on in the defensive zone, like a lot of great young players.
Brett Hauer off the faceoff has time. That shot blocked in front. And moving ahead is Edo Turglav. Ricky Pietro decides not to play the puck. Leopold there for Hauer. Up deep for David Legwan. That would have been a 2-line pass in the NHL. Here's Legwan with it. Across the line, Legwan waits, just flips it across for Jordan Leopold. Rolling puck fired wide of the goal. Jan Stastny centering pass for Adam Hall. His stick was all tied up. And Turglav comes up with it. Banks it up to center ice as Leopold picks it up. For Hauer. 7:30 gone here in the third period as Giunta picks it up. Brian Giunta battling with 3 Slovenian players, and the puck goes back down to the U.S. zone. Hauer. Long lead pass for Giunta. Giunta trying to leave it there, and it's backhanded out by Yuri Golicic.
Golicic just coming off the bench. That's why Giunta didn't have it seam to move that puck.
Here's Halpern. Digging down in the corner. Halpern leaves it there for York. And the puck once again fired out. Icing waved off. Wonder if these games are good for teams like the U.S. A walkover like this in the first game.
That's why it was good Canada got challenged yesterday by Latvia.
And a steal now by Shivets. Mitya Shivets sends that in front, and the pass missed. Tommy Hafner. York for Halpern. Out there with Giunta, and offside is the call at the Slovenian line. We're back to Innsbruck, Austria after this. Back here in Innsbruck, Kari Savalainen Slovenian team trailing the United States by a score of 5-0. They lost the only previous meeting at the World Championship to the U.S. 7-2.
We got 2 goals, though. It's a moral victory. The Bob Johnson school of let's be positive.
And always be positive. Andy Roach chips that ahead for Doug Waite in Vienna. Czechs lead Switzerland 2-1, going on the power play as Kristen makes the stop there.
This was not an easy save for Kristen either. Hal Gill just blows one on goal from center ice. The puck skipped, and Kristen made a real good save. Watch the puck skip, Gord. It skips off a stick. The right hits you and hit the ice right there. That's a spectacular save. That's not easy. Here it goes, a little sinker off the ice. It's like dodgeball. That's where you want to get hit by.
I was going to say, dodgeball players largely ineffective as goaltenders. Kopitar steps in for the face-off, and the puck gets by Jordan Leopold at the U.S. line. Brett Hauer jumping up for the U.S., the native of Edina, Minnesota. Knuble with it. Back for Hauer, a drive, and Kristen gets a pad on that. It goes over the glass and out of play.
Love watching the maturation process of Jordan Leopold. And, you know, the big thing about Jordan Leopold, he's a guy that moves the puck so well. 2 players like Mike Knuble, and it makes it easier on the forwards, especially for Team USA that likes to play a flow game. When you've got defensemen like Jordan Leopold who move the puck so well. Mike McDonald loves defensemen that move the puck so well. Think about Sergei Zubov down in Dallas. Makes his job a lot easier. By the way, Glenn and Brian were talking about Mike Modano before the game. They're absolutely right. Mike Modano had his worst NHL season ever last year. 14 goals, 30 assists. But I'm telling you, I think Mike Modano can get it back, Gord. I really believe Mike Modano can get it back.
Jordan Leopold did a good job there, breaking up a 2-on-1 for Slovenia.
This guy's really growing on me, Jordan Leopold.
Cole for Knuble looking for the hat trick, and Kristen makes the point-blank save there. Cole back with it, back in front. Modano battling for it, and Kristen will hop on that loose puck. Modano, Pierre, did not score a goal in the World Cup last year and did not score a goal in the Salt Lake City Olympics before that.
He had issues last year in particular. Now, I know Salt Lake was 2002, but last year he had some off-ice issues in terms of financial situations that had gone awry for him. But Mike Modano's got it going on. I mean, he's got speed, he's got size, he's never really been hurt. He's got the whole package.
Jan Stastny centers that puck. Loose in front. Kristen can't hang on to it. Legwan fires. That went off a leg and wide, and Kristen's giving it to his defense.
Don't blame them. They've been awful.
Legwan working away with Stastny. Here's Legwan across the line. Trying to hit the trailer. That puck goes way up high in the air and bounces down in front of the Slovenian bench. Power. Ahead for Leopold. Up for Hall.
There's an example of the Leopold maturation. Backhand pass in the neutral zone, but he skates himself out of trouble so that he knows it's not going to be a turnover. Just smart awareness by Jordan Leopold.
Puck loose behind the goal. Jan Stastny can't quite get to it. It squirts by Aaron Miller and goes all the way down the ice past the midway point here in the third period.
Got a barn burner going on in Vienna. 2-1 Czech Republic leading Switzerland right now. It's a goaltending showdown. Antti Kopitar probably going to go in the first 6 picks of the NHL draft whenever they have it. He's been playing up in Sweden, ripping the league apart. Tremendous awareness for a young player. There's an example of why Christian's mad at his defense. Nobody boxing out to come down and help him.
Jeff Halpern off the draw. Giunta taps that back to the line. Aaron Miller with a shot that gets blocked. And back it goes down the ice. And David Rodman gave Aaron Miller a shot, and Miller turned around and made note of the number.
Just so Rodman knows, remember Aaron Miller and Matthias Norseman against Peter Forsberg? They ruptured his spleen in the playoffs. All legally, by the way.
Shivic up along the wall and move through the middle of the ice. This is Bojan Zaitz. Long drive. DiPietro handles that easily, and DiPietro's got a little wanderlust going. Wants to get the puck up the ice.
Wanderlust?
Yeah, he's
that's good.
He's bored.
Got a little penalty coming up.
Yeah, goaltender interference is going to be the call on Brian Giunta as he got tangled up with Robert Kristen. And so
I think they're going to give it to Halpern for a slash.
Halpern goes for the slash. Giunta turned around to argue, and turns out the penalty wasn't against him.
Yeah.
So Halpern gets the slash, and Slovenia goes back to the power play. 10:56 gone here in the third period.
Jeff Halpern played Cloten in the Swiss League, 9 games this year, 11 points.
Played a total of 24 games for 2 teams in the Swiss League. And back to pick it up is Robert Sigornecki, the Slovenian captain. This nation gained its independence from Yugoslavia in 1991. And in comes shorthanded Jan Stastny, walking in. Stastny scores! Jan Stastny with a beautiful shorthanded goal, and it's 6-0 U.S.
That'll make his father Peter very proud. Comes in, does a real good job, plays in the German league right now. 51 games this year, 24 goals. Here's his first one in the World Tournament. Jan Stastny taking advantage of a turnover in the neutral zone and coming with a head of steam. There's my boy, by the way, Dijon Varl, number 10. He's just eating trail dust right now. Jan Stastny just turtles him.
Poor guy. Poor guy.
Well, every play that's a egregious error against Slovenia, it's him. Like, I'm telling you right now, Robert Christensen said, just get off the ice, pull yourself. You're hurting me. Dijon Varl. Hey, the pictures don't lie, my friend.
No, they don't, Pierre. And you tell the truth. The unvarnished, cold, hard truth.
That's right.
Poor guy, 31-year-old Slovenian, playing at the World Championship. They just came up from the B pool.
Tell him to go to the Adriatic and swim if he's 31 and he's tired.
And there are plenty of spas down there he can go to if he doesn't want to play.
Minute 30 left in the Slovenian power play, which has surrendered already. A shorthanded goal to the U.S. Kondrets plays it across for Robar. Down low for Ivo Jan. And Jan winds and fires. That goes off a leg and wide. Kondrets with it. Looking there for Jan. Now plays it back to the line. Robar plays it across, and that bullet shot goes wide from Dervarich.
How about Madonna killing penalties right now with Knubel in a 6-0 game?
Kondrets plays it in front. There's a quick shot on goal by Dervarich.
Peter Laviolette getting creative on the bench. Not sure I'd have those guys out in a 6-0 game. Would have to block a shot and break foot or something like that.
Kondrets back for Robar. Here's Kondrets with it. Waits, centering pass, and
just like Howard did right now. Howard's laboring to the bench.
Oh, man, misfired there.
Oh, no.
Blocking shots in a 6-0 game.
Yeah. Not sure I'm buying into what Mr. Laviolette's selling right now. John Tortorella better grab and say, we need Madonna. We need Knubel.
Zagar dropping the puck off. Golicic looking for it. DiPietro's out to play it and got it away from 2 Slovenians. Final seconds now of the penalty to Jeff Halpern as Waite comes across the line with Richard Park. Doug Waite. As Halpern comes back on the ice. Waite hanging on to it. 7 minutes left here in the third period. U.S. up 6-0. This is by far the most one-sided game so far in this World Hockey Championship. Most of the others much closer than people thought. Canada 6-4 over Latvia. Russia a close one over Austria 4-2.
Denmark played Finland real tough 1-0 last night. We were at the game. Played them real tough.
1-0 after 2 and then a 2-1 final score. And the Danes had lots of chances in the second period.
Oh, did they ever?
Augustinstich picks it up as Parrish is all over him. And now Waite with a steal in front for Richard Park. Hopped off his stick. Back down it goes to Doug Waite, who seems to have had the puck the whole game. Now Waite with a nifty move there. Fires that in front. Loose puck. Kristen steers that away. And the puck goes back down. And Doug Waite goes back to pick it up.
You know, you're going to look at what they just do now. Go to DiPietro. Move the puck. 2-line pass. Beautiful.
And Parrish backhands it in. Here's Jan Stasny. Takes a hard bump into the Ed boards. David Legwan gathers it up, waiting for Hall to come off the bench on a change. Sotlar plays it to the line, and it skips by Roach and out as Hafner goes looking for it, and DiPietro's got a chance to play the puck.
That Wanderlust is kicking in now.
Gill up ahead for Stasny, chipped it there, but turned the puck over. David Rodman, and now Hafner gets knocked down, and the Americans bank the puck out ahead to David Legwan. Legwan working his way into the corner with it. Trying to center it there. And Adam Hall can't quite get to it. Hafner, as the Slovenians are trying to change, just drops it off for Shivitz, who didn't want the puck because he was trying to get off as well. And the U.S. will let him get a change in. Siglinecki up ahead for Rasinger. Thomas Rasinger drops it off. Halpern up with it. Halpern with Giunta. And York. Here's Giunta working his way. A nifty move, a backhand shot goes just wide. What a move by Brian Giunta. Now he's got it back. Giunta in front. That shot through the crease just went wide.
Siglinecki never saw a move like that before. Big number 3. What a move by Giunta. That was spectacular.
Now a chance as DiPietro jumps up. That puck in the feet of the Slovenian player. Rasinger gets a shot away in front for Kopitar.
Guess who was back? Giunta.
Yeah, Brian Giunta hustled back and broke that up, and now Giunta takes the pass from Halpern. Giunta back in front for Halpern, couldn't chip it on goal. York digging for it.
That David Conti and the New Jersey Devils, they just never make mistakes when they draft players. Unbelievable. Brian Giunta, 5'7". Whoever would have thought he would have played in the NHL. They just never make mistakes. Zach Parisi ripped the American League up this year.
Scott Gomez was a late first-round pick.
Man. Paul Martin playing in this game. David Hale. I mean, you start looking at it. Marty Brodeur. These guys just draft unbelievable. David Conti, Lou Lamoriello.
Here's Turglov across the line for Slovenia. Drops the puck off for Dervarich, and DiPietro handles that and plays it ahead for Cole.
I like what you said. Wanderlust. That's a new word for me. That's good. He's got it.
Cole. Down for Knubel. Looking there for Modano in the corner. And Modano comes away with the puck, centering it back for Knubel. He was tied up by Ivo Jan. 3.5 to go here in the third. U.S. will win its opener here. And then take on Latvia on Tuesday. Cole takes that long lead pass. Here's Knubel with it. Doug Waite comes off the bench for the U.S. Waite spinning away. Doug Waite played 7 games for Frankfurt in the German league this year. Spinning away and keeps the puck on the line for the U.S. Plays it down in the corner. Tavares plays it down to the U.S. zone. Rosic looking for it. Al Gill can't play it away from him. Back to the line, and the shot there from Luka Zagar, handled easily by DiPietro, and back up the ice it goes.
He is a good puck mover, though. You got to give him credit.
Oof. He was the top goaltender of the 2000 World Junior Championship in Skellefteå, Sweden. He was dynamite.
And that's one of the reasons why Mike Milbury wanted him in the first round. Our first pick overall is puck handling.
Mark Parrish walking in. Parrish has a goal, fires it right on. Kristen the save.
I guess if you have to see Marty Brodeur all the time, you want somebody just like him.
Tommy Hafner brings the puck ahead as the Slovenians are getting in a change.
Oh, good play by Leopold right there on Rodman. Excellent job, Jordan Leopold. Jimmy Playfair, Daryl Sutter, you guys should be real proud of this young man. Tremendous game he's played.
Howard gains center ice and wraps that puck in. Now Stastny looking for it. Adam Hall off the skate of leg one. Under 2 to go now in the third period. Here's Adam Hall. Fights off a check, plays it back for Jan Stastny. Here's Howard. In for leg one. Alone in front of Stastny to drive. Kristen makes the stop, and a penalty coming up as the United States Adam Hall was knocked down. And so Tommy Hafner will go off for Slovenia with 1:44 to go in the third.
Total domination by the Americans. The line of Stastny, Leguan, and Hall just walking all over the Slovenian defense. Hafner goes to the box. Americans have a chance to pad their 6-0 lead. Again, it's not bad sportsmanship either. Gord has been telling you all trip long.
Goal differential is a tiebreaker in this tournament, and it matters.
It really does matter. Could be the difference between having the last change or not having the last change.
František Kaberle has scored for the Czech Republic. Czechs now lead Switzerland 3-1 in the third period.
Martin Gerber, absolutely heroic in goal for Switzerland.
Roach plays it across for John Michael Lyles. Down for Giunta. Back in front. Here's Giunta, scores! Giunta on the power play, and it's 7-0 U.S.
He just grows on you. He's only 5'7", but he just keeps growing on you because he loves to compete and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's so good defensively. He's very effective on the power play, and he knows how to survive as a smaller man. Give the puck up and then go to an empty area. That's exactly what he does. He gets found and then he finishes the play off. It's just great hockey. Tremendous hockey. Mike York gives a puck up to Giunta and he just finishes the play off. I guess he was on the ice, by the way, for...
oh, no.
Oh, yes.
No,
Dusan Varl.
Oh, dear.
And Sigmanetsky. Good movement by York to Giunta. Give and go hockey personified. And if you do it against a net defense, it looks that much better. Give it up, go to the net, find the dead area in coverage, and finish it off.
Oh, poor Dejan Varl.
I'm going to go down and see him after the game. I think you should go to the spa.
He's -1 billion, losing 7-0. You're killing him.
The best news is that wasn't a minus, it was a power play goal.
Always be positive, eh, Pierre? Even you.
The Bob Johnson School of Positive Activity.
Yeah, there you go. Even you find a way to be positive. Alpern with it. For Giunta. Down for Mike York. Here's Giunta, side of the goal, the bouncing puck.
What's another one?
Robar. Spinning back, Mitya Robar. And Mike York kicks that puck out. Under a minute to go now in the third period. Tonight, here, it'll be Sweden against Ukraine. We'll get our first look at the Swedes in this championship.
That'll be a one-sided affair.
Thanks, Tips. thanks for the update, Tips.
Or as you like to say, we pay you for that information.
Yeah. Not for nothing does TSN pay you that grand sum of money for insight like that. icing the call against the United States. 16 teams in the World Hockey Championship, divided into 4 groups of 4.
I coached a player from Ukraine, Alexander Gadinya.
Yes, he was a good player too.
He was. He was the MVP for defenseman at the World Junior Championship one year. And a real nice gentleman. Played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Florida Panthers, Hartford Whalers.
Hall shipping it there for Jan Stastny. Bouncing puck, side of the goal. Stastny gets a shot away, and Kristen will hang on to that.
He's been the best player, by the way, for Slovenia.
Well, yeah.
He really has. Robert Kristen, I know it's 7-0. It's not his fault.
No.
It really isn't. Jan Stastny taking advantage of all this extra time on the ice, getting another opportunity on goal.
I'm just hoping, you know, because sometimes you get these wonky player of the game selections. I'm just hoping they select Dejan Varl.
Wouldn't that be
for
special?
Slovakia as a player of the game. Yeah. Just want to see you pop a blood vessel on your way out of the building when they announce that. Back to the line, Jordan Leopold. Fires it on goal, and Kristen makes another stop.
I just love what he just did right there, Jordan Leopold. Instead of standing still and having lazy feet, he moves to the inside part of the ice, gets a quick shot on goal after the David Legwan face-off win. He's not a lazy player, and I got to believe Daryl Sutter helped him with that, because his first year in the NHL was a very difficult one.
Power with a drive. Kristen makes another stop, and mercifully, this will come to an end, as the United States puts a touchdown on the board against Slovenia, winning its opener at the 2005 World Championship. 7-0 the score as the U.S. goes to 1-0.
This one, yes, you know it's a lopsided game when the turning point is 31 seconds in. Eric Cole to Mike Knuble. First of 2 on the day for Mike, first of 7 on the day for the Americans as they roll to a 7-0 victory. A cash donation will be made on behalf of TSN to the Coaching Association of Canada for the training and development of amateur coaches across the country. And the TSN Turning Point is brought to you by Future Shop. Get into the game with a big screen TV from Future Shop. And not only does Mike Knuble get the TSN Turning Point, he gets the player of the game for the Americans as they win their first of this World Championship. Back to wrap things up right after this. Your third period scoring summary is brought to you by Chevrolet for all life's roads. Stastny, the younger version, with his first shorthanded, and then Gianta on the power play, rounding out a 7-0 U.S. victory over Slovenia. It's brought to you by Chevrolet for all life's roads. Our next game is tomorrow, Sweden and Denmark. No Naslund, no Sundin, no Forsberg. Still shouldn't be much of a challenge for Sweden in Game 1. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Your next look at the Canadians comes Tuesday, 10 a.m. Eastern, as they take on these very same Slovenians. Right now, it's the Americans and the Canadians tied for first in Group B. Of course, we know that Group B will be decided on Thursday when the Canadians and the Americans face off. You can also catch that right here on TSN. Dave Hodge and the reporters are standing by. They're next. This has been a presentation of TSN, Canada's sports leader.